Hello everybody and welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program Rise of the Dark Fog. And let's kick things off today by adding another row of 15 which one is the one that I'm using? This one. Oh, I should have placed that one there. Adding another row of 15 machines to this build. So this should be another row of... Oh, lack of item. That's interesting. So the 15 is here and I need just one more space over here like this. The reason why I'm adding this one is because after I have ended the last episode, let's see, can I do this fast enough? I want to get the titanium alloy especially out of this one. Cool. I did manage to get everything. Out. That's great. So I did realize, as I was saying, that there was a bit more that could be squeezed out of this ILS. Now the ratio here is a bit of a weird one, and by here I mean on this one it's a 4-1-1, and obviously to get more out of this, ideally I would just double everything, so 8-2-2, but that's already 12 belts, so that's not possible or not ideal, let's say, because that complicates the output bit and the proliferation bit. But there is the possibility of increasing these two to 2 lanes and having 6 lanes of carbon nanotubes. And that's what we're going to be doing here. So let's get another 15 of these. I don't want to place all of them down just yet. Just have this as a reference. 3 squares. And I have 3 squares there. And I think I have 3 squares here as well. Yep, that looks correct. There's gonna be just the 1 lane out. But again, in total, there's gonna be 4 lanes. 4 lanes of incoming. Nope, that is wrong. There's gonna be 6 lanes of carbon nanotubes and 2 lanes each of the other 2 components. So that's gonna be the 6 lanes of carbon nanotubes. And I will be getting these 2 lanes. Okay, maybe I won't do that. That's gonna be extremely weird. I would much rather have them grouped. This one can actually be placed over here. So there's gonna be 3 lanes of carbon nanotubes. There will be the... Let's remember... Okay, yeah. Speaking of it's not this one, it's this one. I totally forgot to put some flow indication here. But this is so annoying. I need to compute this in cargos per second, but this is giving me in cargos per minute. Like, what the actual... do I have 30? I actually don't know if I have 30 right now. Fail and no cargo is gonna output titanium alloys. I'll actually go just at 15. Also, I need to change this to greater than. So it sometimes goes below. I think this is good. It will flicker every once in a while, but what's the craft time for this recipe? It's 12 seconds. Let's actually change this. So instead of 5 seconds, let's go to the recipe speed. And let's just make it a minimum of 2 per second. So I will actually look at getting 2 lanes in just to keep the symmetry. And let's start building on the... These are all the inputs that I'm gonna need. 6 plus 4, that is... Okay, something is off here. I have 6, 2, 2, so that's a total of 10 lanes. 1 lane... Oh, yes, these 2 are taken as well, so this is gonna be proliferator, and yeah, no, okay, it's all good, all's accounted for. Let's start merging these lines. So this one can go over here like this. So these are 2 of the inputs. They will need to be split. These ones will not need to be split. And I'll have 1 over here and just another merge over here. So these lines are fine as they are. This one is probably gonna be like that. I'm trying to keep them somewhat symmetric. So again, this one will need a splitter, this one will not. And this is a 3-ingredient recipe, which will follow the already known by everybody pattern. These are gonna be frame materials. So let's see, output is like this and like this. 3 inputs. Three inputs on this side as well. The supply belt in between factories and power poles over here. And let's work out the inserters. Outbound first. And inbound on one side. Let's not forget the inner ones. Cool. This is the blueprint. Let's get this one repeated a few times. Get some power through, get the BAB to help me a bit. That whole thing is still broken. Okay. This is all powered up. So we need to look at proliferation first. And well, these ones are going to be coming over here like this. No need to complicate things too much. And well, we will have coat painters, coat sprayers as close to the top as possible. So weird. It allows me to go here, but it doesn't allow here. So if I do one of these over here and one of these over here. How will this look like? So this is going to be supplying the center belts. This is going to be supplying the inner belts. So just the one overlap here, which is really nice. The spray coaters all fit. That was nowhere near close. Okay, now the spray coaters all fit. I definitely have enough room for that thing over there. Let's see, I can get three of these things over here. And then just connect on the sides. There's most likely a power pole here, but I'll work around it. And this one that will basically side load into the side lanes. Power pole over here should mean that everything is powered up and ready to work. I need to connect these last few belts, and let's not forget proliferation. I really don't want to see what's happening there. There should be more. There should be some coming over to this planet as well. Let's make sure that I get the right resources out. So I have 3 carbon nanotubes here. I will then get titanium over here. Silicon is gonna be this 2. And then last batch of carbon nanotubes. And we have our first frames being mass produced. I will use a similar pattern. So this is 1 at 6 seconds. We have, how many machines did I put down? 10 machines. So that's 15 machines per side. So I should be getting 15 every 6 seconds. That is just a bit over 2 per second. So I'll put this to work at a 6-second interval, and well, I am expecting 15 cargoes at 6-second interval. Let's put a filter, let's say global alarm and frame materials. Oh, this is actually unified. It's not split in half, so it's for everything. And that is the frame material. After frame material, our next recipe is going to be Dyson Sphere components. As you can see, we're making a beeline for the Dyson Sphere. Dyson Sphere component is a length of 40. Which I guess I can count from this one, which is 45. I'm gonna subtract 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items, so it's right over here. And I will add the 5 extra blocks. I have messed up. I have messed up royally. Why would I have aligned that over there? That makes no sense. Okay, I have to be very careful not to mess these ones up. Actually, I will put a yellow color in between. That's gonna be... that's the wrong color. I think it's this one, yes. That is so painful. I have to move that whole setup once again. So let's cut that production line. Well, moving is not as bad, I guess, as it could be. The big problem is that I'll have to use a temporary ILS over here. This has no demands, no nothing. I can easily get everything in here. I'll wait for those things to drain off the belts, as I don't think I have enough space in my inventory. In the meantime, let's paint up the other region. So this is going to be the border. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be the border. Just saying, a functionality to lock this dragging onto one of the axes would be extremely cool. Just saying. Let's mark this area like this. Yeah, I guess I don't need that much space there. And let's try to drag all of this again while trying to hold the cursor in the center area. have a couple of nice areas on the planet. I probably won't spend time to paint everything, at least not on camera. But I do want to get at least this one area look somewhat nice. Now that we have the material to build. Speaking of, this is fully dead, but it is of very little relevance. I'll leave that as is. There's one very easy way to solve the problem, and that is remote demand. I guess I'm no longer producing as much foundation as I used to. Really, it cancels out? That is interesting. So this ILS would be over here, and I can actually do it. Let's clear the settings. This is gonna have Dyson Sphere components, yes. So frames, processors, and sails. Frames, processors are over here, and sails are over here. And you're gonna output Dyson Sphere components. Let's restrict to 5000, as most of our builds are, or should be. Now this is local, this is remote, and this is local. And this is gonna be supply. I'll go ahead and take a few more ships on me. I'm used to ships being at the very end of the build. And I'll take just the additional one. Because I was always one short, and that was driving me crazy. So I can obviously manually move everything from there. I can take this in. And at this point, I can demolish everything. Resources were consumed almost entirely. But that means belt balance was pretty decent as well. No extra things on the boss. That's nice. And I need 2 more green patterns. Yes, 2 more. There's still one in between. I must have computed the center line. I am not trying to rationalize my mistake. I was probably going on the center line and then thought it was the edge for some reason. Almost. Almost. Well, at least landfill is not a problem anymore. So, can I copy this? That anchor point should be over here, and everything else should match. I will get the help of a couple of babs. At least it's fairly easy to relocate stuff. Yeah, I did change this and forgot to change it back. I was like, why do I have no place to store the silicon? Silicon is remote demand local storage. This needs to go back to 5,000 and this needs to go back to 5,000. There's nothing left in there, just some ships, so I can safely remove that. And this needs to go all the way. That can go. These random power poles can go. Obviously, this would have been removed. And yeah, I didn't have any. I didn't have any materials left on me. So yeah, that alert is gone now. And it's time to look at the... Oh wow, this is still dead? Maybe it doesn't... No, it doesn't have ships. I am importing them now, that's great. So next one on the to-do list is Dyson Sphere components. This is actually quite an easy build. It's a 3-3-3, one lane input, one lane proliferation. That means I have 11 in total. So I will do the same thing that I've done. I don't know if it was on this planet. I did have another 3-3-3 build at some point. It was for titanium glass. Titanium glass was over on the other planet. I really wish I could take a peek at other planets, but I cannot, so... And the reason I wanted to take a peek would be to be able to use the same setup. So I believe the idea would be that we get these two belts, 1 and 2, and then we loop the other one around here. These two get merged into one belt, and let's see, this one is gonna go like this. I guess one more. They're gonna merge back in there. And I guess I will do it like okay, something is so 1, 2, 3. I cannot get that one out like that, so I'll get one over here. This is definitely not the same setup. Can I get this to merge over here? Yes, I can. And these lanes, I will actually drag them out. Let's say frame materials. So the idea is that I'm actually gonna use that space. And do it like that. I will be missing a power pole there, but well, nobody's gonna miss it. Really? Why not? Okay, and it breaks the connection. So this is gonna be side loading, so I'll have to drag quite a bit, but yeah, it is working. All three lanes are outputting, which is what I wanted to test. These ones are pretty much straightforward. This one's over there. This one is over here. And I will try to actually use the same two lanes of output to keep things symmetric. Now, input wise, lanes are gonna look like this. I need to split everything this time, which is gonna be just a bit more messy. Maybe I will actually try to do splitting over on this side. So have one here, and actually, how does this look? So you would obviously come over here. This one needs to be, or can be over here, like this. And there's gonna be a last one in the center. So actually, you're gonna be over here. This is gonna be over here. No. I need to redo that. And this one is just gonna feed these lines. I will have to off-center this one by a few... one more. By a few units, because I need to have this one here. So this one would come in like this. I can move these ones just a bit more. Can I do it? I can actually do this over here. That's not a problem, so it would go just straight down. This one cannot be here, on the other hand. This one needs to be, I think, at maximum over here. This might or might not work. Yes, that will work. So proliferator here and proliferator here. It's this line, and this line. That's actually one behind. And can I move even one space further with this one? I think I can. Yes, I can. Because if I keep it on that line, I won't have enough space to get the input inbound. That aligns. This should align too. Those ones can be removed. Is this out of... This looks a bit crooked. This is a bit crooked. But they seem to be perfectly in line. Oh well. So this one... This will go over. Everything will go over, actually. These ones will merge in like this. Make sure I keep the correct direction. And let's see. Well, I guess that fits somewhat. Okay, I think that these are all the inputs and outputs. I just have to finish up the assembly machines. So belts, drag them. One. Is it? I think it's like just like this. Yes, that's the correct length. So that when I copy paste them, they actually tie into the blueprint well, and I don't have to manually make the connections. Getting this belt is always a challenge. Oh, that was an interesting angle. That's great. Let's get the rest of the belts. This is actually a very great angle to set up the belts. I'll try to use something similar over here. Really? I went into combat mode? And finally the outputs. And let's see this work. Hopefully. No, cancel, cancel, cancel. Fortunately, I didn't fully finish setting this up. So this needs to fit in like that. And this one needs to fit in over here. This one goes in, and this one will go in over here. Yes, I think that's correct. That should be 2 belts supplied. Let's get the correct throughput this time. Let's get processors on this belt. So processors are delivered. Last one is sales. Yes, this works so much better when I have the correct recipe. Okay, all of them are working now. And I can just copy paste this. Let's go 4 more times for now. Apparently it was 1 more tile. We'll have to manually fix everything. Now, admittedly, it was my mistake. I've done this a few times. I should have been able to do it by now, but it would be really great if the game would somehow come to my aid. So I wouldn't have to try to fix this every single time. Now I did get a few items that I do not want to have on me. Carbon nanotubes are over here. And we don't have a lot of them. Solar cells, some processors. I'll keep some processors on me. Free materials I'll keep a bit on. Is there anything else I have on excess? I definitely do not need those in my inventory. Not more than one stack of that. And we're good to go. We now have not yet. Before I leave, I want to put this. This is divided by 2. I have 14 total. 40 machines. Yeah, I should have 40. Divided by 3, that's 13 machines, let's say. And the recipe speed for this one is 8. So I'm expecting 13 at 8 seconds interval. So let's count 8 second, 13 cargoes, alarm, fail no cargo for this one, and then copy paste. And this should turn green very soon once a cycle of, 8 seconds passes. And that's it. We now have our Dyson Sphere components. We're just 2 steps from getting our small carrier rockets, which is the last thing that we need in order to start building our Dyson Sphere. Now, I could start building the swarm, but I'm not planning on drawing power from the swarm just yet, so I didn't see any point in doing that. This will put quite a strain on our resources, but we'll see how we do. But that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope you find this type of playstyle interesting. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you here next time.